I'm Cynthia Kahn, founder of Amuse Now, and I'm here today with soulful and bluesy singer-songwriter Laura Cole. Hey, Laura.
Hey Cynthia, thanks so much for having me.
My pleasure. How is it today in Canada?
It's a chilly one, there's snow on the ground, but we're having a good time.
It's raining in Portland,
Yeah.
FYI.
Oh, that's too bad. Better than snow though.
Yeah. Just want to congratulate you on the success of your debut album, Dirty Cheat.
Yeah, things are going well. I can't complain. Thanks so much.
I listened to all the songs, and my faves are Sweet Escape and Let It Roll. Tell me about those songs, and also, are they about the beginning and the end of the same relationship?
A lot of people ask that question, and it's kind of something that I've thought about is that yes, essentially, it started off as that kind of one night stand sort of idea with Sweet Escape. And then Let It Roll, obviously, things kind of fell apart once they got more serious. And, even though they weren't planned to be more serious than they initially, you know, were as a one night stand. I mean, sometimes that happens where you just kind of get those feelings, right? And uh, and then you lose them, and you have to sing a sad song about it. So that's essentially what we did on this record. Whether they're about the same person or not, I mean, they're definitely bookend songs, the start and the beginning of a relationship.
You produced Dirty Cheat with two Grammy Award winning producers, Steve Biggis and Daniel Lanois. How did the three of you come together?
My parents actually went to high school with Daniel Lanois, who's produced, U2, Neil Young, Bob Dylan, you name it. Um, and they essentially hooked me up with Dan as, a mentor and things like that. I've known him my whole life. He's kind of my Uncle Danny. And then he actually recommended we were in Louisiana together, Dan and I, and he recommended that I use Steve for my personal record, and the rest history really. Like that's how we got hooked up, and we're now one big musical family.
That's right. Your bio says you're from a musical family. So, what is your music background?
Um, as a kid, I was forced to take piano lessons and things like that. Singing lessons I never took much. I joined choirs and things like that. But my dad is a really phenomenal piano player, and so is my mom actually. But my dad's actually currently still in the band, believe it or not.
Aside from your parents, who can we credit as your music influences?
I definitely say my influences include people like, you know, from back then, people like Sam Cooke, Etta James, Ella Fitzgerald, Billie Holiday. The real divas of that time are definitely on my number one list. And more currently, we could kind of say my influences are Gin Wigmore, Amy Winehouse, things like that. Uh, People with very similar sounds that I think have been inspired by the same people.
You're young and you're new and you're trying to make a name for yourself. How do you use social media to connect with fans and get the word out about your awesome debut album?
I keep updates rolling, almost daily. I mean, as much as I possibly can, without annoying them, right? And I use Twitter a lot, at Laura Cole Music, just to kind of, you know, keep things in the loop. And I find Twitter's a really great tool. I didn't use it for a while, but and then Instagram, again, everything's just at Laura Cole Music. And I also have my website, lauracolemusic.com. And, with social media, I find it so easy um, to grasp people's attention. Uh, all they have to see is one thing that they like or hear one thing they like, and then they'll follow you forever, or they'll become a loyal fan just based on that one recording. Um, a prime example of that is recently I actually wrote a tobogganing song because there's a tobogganing ban in Canada happening, which is kind of ridiculous. But you know that one song and video ended up going somewhat viral. It's had 28,000 views in the past week. So I mean, it's interesting really to see what you can put up and see how it changes essentially how people engage different ideas and the most simple idea can become viral in 2 seconds, you know.
What a great idea to do a song and a video about an extremely current event where people get very motivated and
Yeah.
excited.
And I started the petition in November, so since then it's kind of gotten an uproar, and I've had to do like national post interviews and CBC and the international news even, which is kind of funny, but I mean it's a great segue into my music career, and it's something that I really do believe in is that we're Canadian, like come on, how can we not toboggan, right? It's our heritage essentially, right? Like
There you go. Well, since Amuse Now is about artists helping artists, what piece of advice do you have for other young singers who are trying to make a name for themselves?
young singers just keep at it, keep singing, keep writing. I find especially as a writer, that would be where my biggest advice comes in is that you're not going to write a hit every day. Um, I mean, unless you're Bob Dylan or something, I guess. But but even the amount of songs that he writes and the ones that he discards, I mean, not every single song is going to be your best song ever, right? And don't pressure yourself so much that you form a writer's block. I think that's one of the most important things is to keep creative and just keep writing, keep singing, keep practicing, and don't give up on a dream,
Exactly. And I even had somebody tell me that he arranged the same song at three different occasions, three different times because he didn't like the way that it sounded. So I guess not only whether or not the song is a hit, but whether or not it's arranged the way that it really should be arranged. And that doesn't always come the first time either.
No, and you know what? That's important too. Is for example, I use my iPhone little recorder, voice recorder, right? If I have a song idea and it pops into my head, I record it right away. Don't let anything slip from your mind. Um, if perhaps you have to, you aren't crazy about a song when you first write it, then definitely go back. I mean, nothing's garbage. Whether you get one line out of that song that you wrote, or whether you get one hook or one riff, there's always a little piece of gold stuck in the dirt.
Or else you wouldn't have had that inspiration, right?
Exactly, for sure. Yeah, and I mean, even that one line, if you say you write 20, songs that you're not crazy about, and then you go back to those songs and you pull two lines or one line from each of them, then you have this amazing song, right? If you put it all together and kind of, come up maybe with a new riff or maybe, one specific, idea, and you let that flourish, then I mean, possibilities are endless, right?
I agree. Nothing's wasted, even in art.
Exactly. It's so true, I think it's important for people to know, like don't toss anything out just because it might not sound perfect to you.
I agree. And speaking of that, what is up next for Laura Cole, toboggan protagonist?
Yeah. Yeah. Next we're actually starting my second record, which is going to be amazing. We're really excited because we're hoping for sure it's going to be actually better than the first. We've written amazing songs. My bass player and I, Chris Charcos, we wrote almost the whole second record together, and it's an amazing thing that we're really proud of. The topics of the songs are different. Some of them are similar, but I mean, it's still, it's essentially the story of my life, right? So I mean, things are, going from Dirty Cheat to wherever they're headed now, and I mean, it's a lot more positive, I think, but it's still really sassy. So I mean, soon we're hoping to plan some sort of tour. We will be releasing on radio in Canada around March, I believe. So, hopefully we kind of plan things out with the U.S. At the same time. And, I'll be also releasing a song from a movie that I wrote called Come Be With Me, Love. And it's in the movie 88, which is an indie film that Christopher Lloyd is in. He's one of the stars in it. So, I mean, it's something, things are just going to keep happening, and I'm just going to keep following my heart and following my feet.
Well, if your feet bring you to the Pacific Northwest, specifically Portland, Oregon, please get back in touch with me. I'd love to see you live. And when you release your next album, I'd love to interview you again.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you so much, Cynthia. It was a pleasure having spoken with you, and you're a lovely woman.
And you're a lovely woman also. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much, Cynthia.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Kahn, founder of Amuse Now. This featured artist presentation has been brought to you by Amuse Now Entertainment, a website that enables artists to profit from their creativity. To learn more about Amuse Now, visit us at www.amusednow.com or email me at ckahn@amusenow.com.